Sometimes we struggle in celebrating what God has done or in remembering to sing when we win. And sometimes that's because there's been a big problem in our lives, something that has consumed so much of our time and our energy and our attention. And if that's the case, you know what that's like. Whether it's grief or illness or just deep uncertainty that threatens to swallow every other aspect of your life. It's hard to think about singing and celebration when you're in the midst of that trouble. If we're not careful, though, even after that difficult situation is over, it can remain at the forefront of our minds, our hearts, our lives. I had a really sad conversation with a woman once who I was visiting her. She was older. She had a daughter who was older than I am and a son who was about 10 years younger than me, that grandson. And I was visiting with this elderly woman, and she just didn't have a lot of joy, didn't have a lot of celebration. There's kind of always something wrong, and there was always, and she mentioned this one specific incident that took place, and she had brought it up in a number of different visits. And I remember saying to her, that's so hard, but when was that? And she said, about 25, 30 years ago. See, if we're not careful, a problem, a large one, and understandably something that consumes a lot of our time and our attention. But if we let it, it will become the focal point, the main narrative of our entire lives. And it can suck the joy right out of life. It can become an idol, and we hold all of the rest of our aspects of our life up to that idol. It doesn't have to be that way. We can remember God's people faced this huge problem that was coming. Their slavery in Egypt and Pharaoh changing his mind and chasing after them, but then God's deliverance of them on dry ground through the Red Sea and the Egyptian army being swept away, that they were rescued from that problem. Now, what they could have done, and in fact, what they did a little bit and grumbled about, was to say, life's never going to be good because that's what happened to us back then. By the grace of God in your life and mine, and in his story with the Israelites, eventually they move forward into a new land, into promises that are yet to come. God can do that with you and with me. God can remind us of all that is good and all that we have to be joyful for, all that we can do and remember to sing when we win, to celebrate what God has done. I hope that's the case for you. I hope God's turning over and changing your problems and moving you forward, and that you're able to recognize the things that are good, the blessings that he has given to you. Thanks for checking out this video. Until we see each other again, God's peace to you.